Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spoonful podcast. I, as always, am one of your hosts, Mario Paguadillo, joined today by the lovely Emmett Watkins Jr.
Salutations, salutations. For eagle-eyed viewers out there, you might be like, "Hey, Emmett looks different. What's going on with his face right now?" That's because yesterday I was cleaning my room finally for the first time in years. Why is that light on the floor? Anyway, I was cleaning my room finally for the first time in like a year or so,
Hmm.
and I found my old glasses that I used to wear like in 2018/19. I decided to wear them, and now I don't know where the other ones are.
Well, you found him at a good time then.
Yeah, I put them in a glasses case somewhere, and it's available because we cleaned the room. Like honestly, I have also I'm just gonna break this illusion right now. So usually I cut out the background all the time because my room's dirty, whatever. Guess what? I have a green screen.
Oh, this fancy fucking guy.
Oh, well, you can't
Oh,
tell because it's the background. But like if you saw everything, you would know it's a green screen. Like look at all that.
look
Look
at
at all that.
that.
It's a whole room back here. In
It's
fact,
a
I'm just
whole
gonna
room. What
I
a
just wanted
fancy
to get that
guy.
real. Yeah. I still have clothes that are folded that I need to put up, but everything else is good. So I'm happy with how things are turning out.
We're happy with it too. We're happy here at Spoonful. How the hell are you, dude?
I'm doing pretty great actually. Last night, as we'll talk about, had a whole lot of fun with some friends. Maybe not last night, but the day before last night. Had a bunch of fun with friends that we'll talk about in a second here. But yesterday was literally like I woke up at like 4 p.m. because I was recovering from the night before.
Yeah.
And yeah, my mom offered to help me for like months to tackle this room, and I was like, I don't want to distract from you. But yesterday she was like, all right, I'm down here, let's go. I'm like, all
Like,
right.
all right, shit, it's going down.
Yeah, yeah, so we tackled the whole thing, and now we got to get the closet, which is slightly off screen here. But after that, and after I put these folded clothes up, yeah, it's over. It's done. We've completed the task.
Hell yeah. Happy for you. Happy for you. I'm excited to hear about all the stories. Uh,
Mm.
I'm doing okay. I'm sick as a dog, as you might be able to hear in my voice. It's a little nasally.
Vaguely,
Yeah,
yeah.
the letter M has given me trouble. Right now, I'm not super congested, but the letter M has been giving me a lot of trouble recently.
Damn, I
Uh,
got two of those.
yeah, I got one. I started with that one, so it's kind of bad for me. But yeah, one of those things where I had a cold, right? Um, and then I wasn't feeling too hot, but powering through. And then I gave Jimena that cold, so she was not feeling too hot either. And I think it's one of those where she gave me the cold back because after I started feeling better, then I started feeling three times worse than before, and
Mm,
now she's feeling
yeah.
worse. I think we're just like ping ponging disease off of one another, and it hasn't been fun. It's not COVID, so there's that.
Hallelujah for that.
I feel like
Hallelujah.
nowadays it's funny because every time I've told somebody, I'm like, oh yeah, they're like, do a COVID test, and it's like, it's almost like everyone forgot that there's other sicknesses. COVID isn't the
Yeah,
only thing that you can get sick.
exactly,
But I get it.
exactly.
I listen. I bought a COVID kit, and it's not so.
Yeah. I got one in the bathroom right now. Like if things pop off, I am ready. But
It's the
yeah,
new life. It's the new life we live, man.
mm-hmm.
But
It
in
was
case
forever.
you lovely folks at home didn't know, this is the Spoonful Podcast. It is a show where Emmett and I get to talk about just anything we want, and we spoon feed you whatever topic we desire. It goes live every other Tuesday on youtube.com/at spoonfulvids. You can also follow us on Twitter at spoonfulvids and our individual Twitters at EJSponge61 and at Mario Not Bros. Emmett, you had an eventful time recently. You have some stories to tell. I
It's
want you to
true.
take the floor. I feel like the last couple shows have been Mario take the floor. This is an Emmett take the floor episode.
Hell yeah. Emmett episode, everybody. Buckle in for a swell time. So for those of you who might not know, who might not have kept up, who might not have seen the 4 days heads up I gave on this stream, I did an extra live stream over the weekend for the celebration of my birthday. I had my birthday on December 11th, so yesterday as we're recording this.
Happy
And I
belated birthday, by the way.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I did an extra live stream a while back. Actually, I did one 2019, right before the
Mm,
world ended. So
it was your
yeah,
fault.
it was It was my fault. Well, we hit our goal, so like, hey, I tried.
Hey,
Um, if if it went the way it did this time back then maybe you can blame me. Because this year was quite a bit different than the last time I did an extra live stream. Last time I did one of these, I just hyper planned everything. I was like, all right, we have a itinerary of things we're gonna do. We have like activities we're gonna do if we hit certain goal milestones. We have like I have incentives for people. I have physical items I was gonna send out and all this stuff
mm,
and game codes and stuff to give to people. I like planned all of this thing out very, very specifically. This year I wanted to do a stream again just because I had fun with that type of atmosphere. Like playing to an audience and also playing with my friends was just very fun when I did that last time. But I didn't want the extra stress of like over planning. I didn't want the extra stress of like, here's all these specific things we have to do. Here's all these things that, we have to make this happen or I have to send this out, blah, 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 blah. I just didn't want that this year because number one, I'm tired all the time. And number two, I work too much to even have time to do all that.
fair.
So I was like, all right, so let's do it, but let's pare it down a little bit. I had it to where the incentives were only like literally the only incentive was if you donate more than $10, you can fill out a Google form and we'll send you the $10 Steam code. Like that was more or less the only incentive. I had 200 Steam codes to give out.
Hey,
So
nice.
it exactly it's a good benefit, but it's the only one this time. So I said that and then I didn't like give out a whole schedule of events. I was just like in my head there were a couple things I wanted to make sure I did, but it wasn't like a whole list of stuff. And
Yeah.
then even the stuff I had in my head was like whenever it happens. So yeah, it that's what the plan was. Even then it ended
Oh
up
boy.
going quite off the rail.
Yeah, I bet. As it
Yeah,
tends
because
to
for
do.
yeah, I feel okay. So the only person who's gonna know most of everything I'm about to talk about is Afro Cyborg. Afro Cyborg on Twitter,
Shout out
Joe
to
on
Afro
Twitter.
Cyborg, the homie
Yeah,
forever.
exactly. He has always been the homie. I met him in person once. He came down to Atlanta one time and talked to me and Neil. But he is the homie.
He's a
Whenever I
homie.
stream, whenever I'm streaming, I am lucky enough to be streaming on his day off or just time where he's not at work. So he's in there the entire time.
Yeah.
And in 2019, when I did the extra live stream, he was there the entire time. And this time, he was there just about the entire time. And he is really a trooper based off of what I'm about to say here. So before the stream even started, the night, so I had taken off, I had 4 days off from work.
Mm,
I had taken off three, but I already had one at the beginning. So it ended up being four. Um, on that first day I had off, I said, so my original plan was to do the stream on my actual birthday, which was Sunday, which would have been yesterday. And that didn't work for a lot of people because if you want to stay late, you can't have it bump up against Monday because work starts. So I decided to move it to Saturday, and that worked for everybody. So because of that, I had that Friday beforehand to get ready for the stream. What I thought that Friday was gonna be was I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna clean my own room, which didn't happen until Sunday.
fair.
Uh, I'm gonna I'm gonna clean everything else out here because the actual stream was in the den, which like a little living room area on this side.
Okay.
Um, I was gonna rearrange everything in there, clean the bathroom, clean my little kitchenette area, just make sure everything's all tidy, and then move all my equipment into that den. So my PC that I have on right here, all the consoles, move all that in there. The whole works. I got this whole Rode Procaster microphone audio system, whatever. So we all had mics connected so people can be heard and not just having to scream at one distant mic.
Mm,
Um, I had all that set up. I had all that ready to go. What Friday ended up being instead was I got home almost at 3 a.m. from work because night shifts. How you doing?
That's the
Didn't
life.
wake up and yeah, exactly. Didn't wake up until about noon. Had a hair appointment to get these done, which very
They
happy
look,
about
by
that.
the way, I meant to say this earlier, looking great. Hair's looking
Thank you.
phenomenal.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff.
I very much appreciate that. It's one of those things where I cut off my dreads and started like doing my hair regularly, like right at the end of 2019. So I haven't had a chance
Mm,
yet to go to a person to get my hair done. My
right.
mom has been doing my hair this entire time. And she does the same hairstyle. Like I get twists from her as well. And honestly, when they first got done, I was like, "Oh yeah, these look just like my mom made them." But now, the more that I look at them, the more I'm like, "Oh no, this is better."
Like, this is a professional. A professional person did
Exactly.
this. Yeah. No,
Exactly.
no shade
Yeah.
to mom. Shout out to mom,
Exactly.
but you know,
Love her. I am always happy how I look when she does it, but I'm also like, yo, this is another level.
yeah.
Yeah. So perhaps I should keep that up.
This is this
Um,
person's career, you know?
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah. So I got this done. By the time I got home, it was 7 p.m. So at 7 p.m., I had barely done any of the setup, any of the cleaning, any of that stuff. So my parents hit me up. They're like, all right, so do you need help? And I'm like, hit me up in the morning. I got to figure things out. Because not only was all that setup not done, there's a certain game show that I'm going to talk about in a second that I
Mm.
hadn't even set up yet. And then there were like assets for the stream itself, like overlays.
Oh
Hadn't
man.
done
I've
any of
been
that.
there. Oh, I've been there.
Oh, it was rough.
Yeah.
So what that night turned into was an all-nighter of me. Now, I got home from the hair thing, like 7 o'clock ish. I went to sleep until I had a meeting at 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. for VGU. So I slept for about 3 hours right before the night really hit. Then after that meeting at about midnight, that's when I started doing everything. So I started. We played a game of Jeopardy, which I'll describe in a minute. I had to do all the answers and questions for that game of Jeopardy that night. That took until about 3 or 4 a.m. Just typing all that
Jesus.
stuff.
Jesus.
Yeah, thinking of the questions and all that, and also, I'm bad with attention, so, like, I have a video essay on the other side. Every 10 minutes, I stop and look at a video essay and then realize, "Oh, shit, I gotta type."
Yeah.
So that took a while. Then once 3 or 4 a.m. hit, that's when I started finally moving all my consoles and stuff into the other room, started plugging things up, setting up cameras, setting up this green screen that you didn't see when I had the background removed, but here it is.
Hey, look at this
Yeah,
fucking
there you
fancy
go.
guy.
Yeah, shout out to me, I guess. Setting that stuff up, setting up all the cameras, mics, blah, 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 blah. I did that until about 8 in the morning. And then around 8 in the morning is when the parents came down. They're like, all right, so you need help getting stuff set up down here? And I'm like, not necessarily set up, just cleaning up. And
Mm.
so mom helped with the bathroom, dad helped with like the floors and the kitchenette area and all that stuff. So we were able to tackle all that. Once they started getting close to done with all that stuff, I said, all right, now let me get these overlays and whatnot. So I quickly updated. Honestly, I still had the files from 2019 for the last Sexual Life stream.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I took those and just updated a lot of the information and just, changed the logos to more updated ones. Got all that stuff up. And then I also uploaded the Jeopardy thing, made sure all the games were set up, made sure we were gonna play the quarry, so I put that in, made sure that updated before we got going.
Smart
Excuse me,
move,
got
by the
going.
way. Easy to forget that.
Exactly.
Very
Yeah,
easy to
very
forget
easy.
that.
I almost did, to be honest.
Yeah, I have.
Exactly. And so I said, "Hey, we're starting to stream at 2 p.m. We're gonna end the stream at midnight. We're doing 10 hours instead of 12 hours like I did last time because the last 2 hours of the last stream was we were on fumes. We were
We were
just silently
delirious.
typing. Exactly. Like me being on, I was off in those last 2 hours of that stream.
Straight up off.
Yeah, it was not great. So I
Yeah.
was like, let's make better content. Let's not go that long. 10 hours. So I said, all right, I'm starting at 2 o'clock, y'all. I told the whole group chat of all my friends, we're starting at 12. I'm starting at 2 o'clock. Y'all don't all have to be here at 2. You can trickle in if you want, but I'm starting at 2. So I said that expecting maybe one person got here by 2, maybe one person got here by 3. That's what my expectation was. I
Right.
didn't expect them all to come super late. I knew some of them said, "Hey, I can't come until like 6 because I work." And I'm like, "All right, that's fine." Um, what ended up happening was this.
Oh no.
2 p.m. hits. I have everything is set up. I've, watched my own self and everything. I got on
Nice.
stream and I'm like, "Hello guys. We're going to have some fun. Everyone else is coming, but I'm going to like shoot the shit with you in the meantime." So, I think we're playing Nightmare Reaper on Steam Deck, which is a really good first person shooter. Came out this year. If you like roguelike first person shooters, it's really good. Go try it. We're playing that. I'm just showing this game off. And then like 30 minutes into the stream, I feel low energy.
Oh no.
I feel tired. So I'm like, you know what, guys? Give me just a second. I have a little intermission screen that I play just so you know. It's like, oh, we'll be right back.
Beautiful.
So I'm like, hey guys, I'm gonna hit the intermission screen for a second. I'll be back in a couple minutes. I need to like get some energy real quick because I'm feeling low already. So let me go get like a cookie or a drink or something.
Couple
Like
lines.
a few lines,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let
We've
me
all
let
been
me go
there.
prepare. Exactly, exactly. So the line that I ended up doing after I hit that intermission screen, I I don't know if I intentionally did this, but long story short, I hit that intermission, and 2 hours later, my friend Nicholas, who was coming for the stream, he just opens the door, and I hear the door open, and that's what wakes me up. So for the first 2 hours of the stream was just the intermission video playing on loop be
Nice.
because I fell a fucking
Now
asleep.
that's being off, man. That's off, off.
Yeah. Oh god, it was bad.
Sweet. Hell
Now
yeah.
luckily it wasn't so bad that I fell asleep actually on stream because that might have been a problem. But
In
yeah,
my mind, Afro Cyborg Joe's in the chat the whole time, just like,
dude,
hey
when I
guys.
when I woke up, the first chat that it posted while I was asleep was from Afro. So I don't know how long he was there because as soon as I came back on, he was there.
He's
So
like, man, this is a long ass intermission.
it really was. It was awful.
Time
It was
out. So
awful.
okay, I need a
Mhm.
little I need to pause here and I need
Please,
to ask
please.
a few questions. So like
Yes.
you put the stream on pause and I get like I've pulled very similar things, so I can't I'm not judging here, but I need to
Mhm.
understand what happened. So you go to the kitchen, you're going to grab a cookie. Did you sit down on the couch? Did you lay in bed? Like how did we go from like let me get some energy to straight up I'm out, lights out?
I think I got a Powerade from my little
Okay.
refrigerator down there. I sat down, drank the Powerade,
And that's
and
it.
then I don't remember anything after that. I legitimately think I just
Nice.
because here's the thing. It's not like I
Yeah.
fell asleep in the seated position. Like I was laid out on the
Of
couch.
course. No, no, of
Like my feet
course.
were up. Like it was bad. Like my friend Nick, he kept joking the whole night, like, "Oh yeah, I walked in on him, like pants were off, everything." And I'm like, "All right."
This
He
man
loves to
was
tell tall
fully
tales.
naked.
Yeah, exactly. Literally by the end of the night, he was like, "Oh yeah, his dick was out and everything, man." It was
I love it. That's
just
fantastic.
he just kept adding on. But
Yeah,
yeah, so he wakes me up. I'm
cool.
like, "Oh shit, you're here. Awesome." Then I look at the watch and I'm like, "Oh, it's 4 p.m. Fuck."
Oh shit.
They've been intermissioning for an hour and a half at this point. And so he gets here and we're like, all right, great. So I just, show him the kitchen and all that stuff, and then we get back onto the stream. And so now it's me and Nick. So now I'm like, all right, I got someone to banter off of now. And also I have slept a little bit. Like I can go to distance now.
Yes.
Hallelujah. So I get the intermission off and I'm like, hey guys, sorry about that.
Whoops.
Sorry we were gone for like an hour and a half. But there's another person here now. So the weirdest thing happened. You tell me what you think. So Nick decided to play a game on my Steam Deck. I'm gonna give you like two guesses.
Oh
What do
boy.
you think he played on Steam Deck while I shot the shit with him?
Hmm.
It's gonna be a hard one.
Persona 5 Royal.
If only. That might have been more appropriate to play than the game we were
Oh,
playing.
all right. Okay.
It's not even that it was an inappropriate game. It's just like if you want to entertain people, you're picking
Like
this.
this isn't the one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a weird one, is all.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
All right, I'm gonna give you one more guess.
Let's see. One more. I'm trying to think of like a game that just doesn't fit the vibes of a stream whatsoever.
Postal 2. No, I'm kidding.
I'm gonna say only because I beat this recently. It's in my mind. I don't think it's it, but I'm gonna say Lake.
That you're in the right direction, but it's not
Ah,
Lake.
okay.
There's this indie game called Moncage, which
Moncage.
is folks may have seen like maybe Steam demos or something of it. The whole point of it is like it's a cube, but each side of the cube is a window into a different like universe, and the whole
Oh,
point
okay.
yeah, the whole point of the game is like you have to line up different shapes and patterns across the line into a different universe. You have
Mm.
to match up the pair so that they affect both universes at the same time. So like there'll be what is it? Oh, scale. I was about to ask, what's that thing in like the law school thing?
You got it. You're smart.
Yeah. You'll have to line up like the middle bar of a scale, and then in the universe right next to it will be a crane. And so you
Mm.
have to like line that up so that the crane and the scale will both turn in unison, and then it moves something one in the universe to let you progress. He played that for 2.5 hours while we just shot the shit.
That's great. I love
this
that.
very chill, very relaxing puzzle game, and we're over here like, yo, let's talk shit on Tyler Perry.
Nice.
It was very silly, but it was entertaining, I like to think. And Afro Cyborg was digging it. So, I got the feedback we need.
That's all you need, man.
Exactly, exactly. So we did that for a little bit. By the time, like I said, 2.5 hours went by, maybe closer to 2 hours went by, and then some more people started to come in. My friend Gabby came in, and she brought like food and stuff. Like I had told folks, hey, my mom's gonna cook, so you're probably fine on food. But if you like snacks and things to eat in between the food, then come on through. She brought like a whole spinach artichoke dip, but it was like heated up. Like
Oh,
she
fuck yeah. Okay.
she cooked the dip.
Not fucking around. Okay.
I was like, "Wow, you're really going ham." She's crazy, man. Because literally at the end of the night, she was like, "Yeah, I gotta go cook in the morning as well." And I'm like, "Oh, where are you going?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm going to a Christmas thing. I'm cooking collard greens and ham hocks." And I'm like, "What the? You're a
Like,
whole
holy
like
shit.
adult. Like you're cooking shit my mom cooks. Like what the fuck? You're like going off." And so yeah, so she came through, and then shortly after she came through, my one of my best friends, Albie and Richard, they both came through as well. The whole group was here pretty soon, and so once the whole group started to get in, that's when I was like, all right, let's bust out the Jackbox. We have a group now. So we did that for a little while. That was a lot of fun. Of course, always a riot. Playing the Quipplashes, playing the who faked it or whatever. I forget. Faking it. That's what it is. I
Faking
was
it.
about to say.
Classic.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say the who done it.
Who
Like
done
what
it?
the oh boy, we're playing Knives Out. But yeah, we played a lot of that. What the really interesting part, the part that I was really excited about, the thing I was anticipating the whole night, once everyone who said they were gonna come finally got here, towards the endish of the night, maybe like actually it wasn't towards the end of the night, it was maybe like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock. But everyone was finally here. This Jeopardy game I made.
Hmm.
Uh Basically I said, all right, so I have all my friends here, but I know that my in-person friends know me in a different way than all my internet
Of
friends.
course. Of course. You're two different people.
Exactly. Well, I ain't gonna say completely different, but like y'all see different sides of the
Of
cube,
course. Of course. We get it. We
basically.
get it.
Exactly.
Completely
Moving.
different person. Your name's not even Emmett.
Exactly. Yeah. A different cube. Yeah, I'm Jose Canseco too.
Nice. Nice, dude.
Oh boy. I don't know. That's the first name I thought of. So
That's
yeah, I was like,
wild. That's fucking wild
yeah.
that that's the first name you thought of.
Honestly, I only think of that name not even because he plays baseball, right?
He was a baseball player, yes.
That's it. I only think of that name because I just heard his name come up in a lot of rap songs, and I'm like, why would you mention that name, not knowing who it is? Like growing up, I'd hear that name all the time, and I'm like, it's a very interesting, specific name to just bring up randomly.
He did
Okay, Rick
steroids
Ross.
and he was a whole it was a whole thing. He was a very showboaty kind of guy and fun
Ah,
story.
that makes sense
Yeah.
for being an idol for hip hop people
Yeah.
that are traditionally flashy.
That's why.
I guess that makes sense. Well, fun fact, I guess. In any case, we get everyone together. I want to take advantage of the fact that these folks know me in a different way than folks on the internet know me, and also people on the internet know me in a different way than they know me. So
Of course.
I made a fake Jeopardy game. I found a Jeopardy maker online and typed in all these questions, personalized all the categories, and every question was about me in some way. So what did I have? I might pull the Jeopardy game up. I
I
don't
love
think I can
this.
show it on I don't think I can show it on the show, maybe? Nah, I can't show it on the show. But, what I did, I wanna just look up the stuff that I typed. It was like this Flash program that some guy made, and it worked super duper effectively. Oh my god, and it plays the music and everything when you first open it up, it does, like, animations and blah, 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 and basically what all the questions were at a category where it was like there was one category called "You Heard," and everything in that category was pertaining to either music or podcasts that I like. And
Nice.
so
Okay.
for
Nice.
for someone who only knows me through Twitter, oh, I always talk about the same like 5 shows. I always talk about the same like 4 artists. That should be pretty easy. But for them, where I talk about a lot more to them than just what music do I listen to, it's gonna be harder unless they like know like remember all the shit I talk about. And they're pretty attentive, so I had hope for them in that category.
Yeah.
But like some of these other categories, I was like, there's no chance. Like
Got it.
there's one category or one question that was like, there are two YouTube channels I watch for video game documentaries. Name one of them. None of them had a fucking clue.
They're like, what are you fucking talking about?
They were like, video game documentaries?
That's a thing?
What? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the answer is no clip and gamers, by the way. Shout out to the channels.
I knew
But none
no
of them
clip
knew
for sure. The other one,
bingo. See, someone on the internet knows no clip, but these normies don't know
these
anything
fucking
about
gosh
that.
dang normal people. Ugh.
Exactly. And so, yeah, that I had a whole category called this content where it's just like YouTubers and Twitch people that I know or watch or all this stuff. I had a category that was just like things from my past. So random, like what cities have I lived in before I moved here and shit like
Mm,
that. Things that they have reason to know, but probably don't remember.
right. No, I like that.
Yeah. And then I even had some questions in here where I'm like, there's no way you're going to know this, but I give you a lot of choices to choose from. So you can just stumble into the right answer if you really think about it. Like the one that stumped them, they fucked up because the first team, the first question they chose was 1,000 point question. And it was, I made 100, like the 100 top 100 games list that I made.
Right.
I told them in any order, doesn't have to be in order, just name the top 10.
Oh, that's fucked. That's tough.
And yeah, it was tough, and that's why I said only 1,000 points. And they negotiated with me, and I said, "All right, if you get one right, I'll give you 100 points until you get it all right."
Nice.
So they got partial credit, but yeah,
Titanfall 2.
yeah, that was on there. They got that one. They got Titanfall. They got Red Dead. They got
Risk of Rain
fuck.
2, I'm going to assume is in there.
It is, but they wouldn't have known that.
I know they were. Listen, I'm trying to play the game at this point.
Please, if you want to play the game, let's see. You got two. You got two.
Okay. Titanfall 2, Risk of Rain 2 for sure. You already mentioned Red Dead 2. Let me see. Let me think of other. Is there a Ratchet and Clank game in there?
Not in the top 10. There are like 3 beneath it, though.
I know that there's definitely in the list, but I'm trying to think
There's
of your
definitely
top
a
10.
Insomniac game in the top 10.
Spider-Man? Are we talking Spider-Man or are we talking fucking why am I blanking on
Fused.
it?
No, I'm kidding. I
Why am
say
I
Fused all
blanking?
the fucking time.
Why am I blanking?
You're thinking of Sunset Overdrive, aren't you?
Sunset Overdrive, yes. God damn it.
It's not in the top 10, but it was used for a different question.
Okay. So what
I had a question.
Insomniac game do you have in your top 10?
It is
Not
Spider-Man
Ratchet.
Miles Morales.
Miles Morales. Should have known that.
Bingo.
Should have
Yeah.
known that. That makes sense. That makes sense. Let's see. What fucking weird game is in there? I know there's at least one weird ass fucking game.
I ever told you what I plan on naming my daughter if I get the chance?
I feel like you've definitely told me this, but do I remember? Do I remember?
It's from a video game, a famous child.
A famous chat. I mean, is it Ellie? Are we talking about Ellie? Are we talking The Last of Us? Or am I just swinging a miss there?
Before Ellie.
Before Ellie. Oh, shit. Oh, Walking Dead. I know that. Clementine. Yes.
Boom.
I,
Yep,
I,
boom.
I do
There you
remember
go.
this. See, I listened.
Bingo.
I listened
Yeah.
this. Sweet.
Just had to
sweet.
walk to the bridge and you crossed it on your own.
Okay, there you go. I appreciate that.
Let's see. 5 more. I better look up this list so I know.
Do we have other PlayStation Studios games in there? Because I'm like, I know you like God of War, but do you like God of War enough to be in your top 10?
God of War, like 2018, is like 49.
Okay, is God of War 3 in your top 10? Because I know you like God of War 3 better.
I want to say God of War 3 is like in the early 30s. So yeah, it's higher.
Do you have a Last of Us in there? Is that a thing?
Last of Us is in there. It's number
Nice.
3, I think.
Nice.
So yeah.
Figured.
Oh yeah. There's like 2 more PlayStation Studios ones, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Trying to think of it.
PlayStation Studios games. Let me think. I'm going through them in my mind.
I'll say this. One game is right when they started calling themselves PlayStation Studios. Another game is years and years before they started using that like moniker.
Did you fucking put PlayStation's All Stars in your top 10?
Not in the top 10. It's like
Okay.
70. I'm crazy, but not that crazy.
That's why there was so much reluctance in my voice.
Yeah. They did say that though. They were like, "Is that in your top 10?" I'm like, "You guys think I'm crazy." Oh boy.
All right, so PlayStation Studios. Do you have Horizon in there? Is that a thing?
Horizon's number 7,
Knew
I
it.
believe.
Nice. Figured. Horizon's great. You
No
excited
bingo.
for that DLC, dog?
Oh my god!
Oh
I'm so
man. Woo!
Oh boy,
Woo!
let me tell you, because literally when we were, I did an episode of the Players Club podcast with Elijah Miller, and we were talking about, oh man, Horizon's really good, and everyone's gonna sleep on it. I was thinking about, man, I really want to play that game again. I platinumed it and just blew the whole load
Yeah.
instantly. but now I got DLC to come back
Fuck
to. So
yeah, dude. I can't wait.
hell yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. Let's see. So I think I got the one. That's the PlayStation Studios when they just started calling themselves PlayStation Studios.
You
What's the
really only
one?
have 3 games left, I'm looking
Yeah,
at it. You said Titanfall,
I
you
did.
said I said Miles, you said Risk of Rain, Walking Dead, Horizon, Red
Red
Dead,
Dead.
and now there's 3 more, yeah.
We have The Last of Us, right? Do we have that in the
Yeah,
list?
The Last
Okay,
of Us
Last
is
of
in
Us is
there.
in there.
You have a PlayStation exclusive, you have a game that was a PlayStation exclusive for a very long time, but now it's on pretty much everything, and a
Mm.
completely just a third party game.
Okay, okay. See, I'm happy with my results yet. Now I want to get those last three, but I'm happy. I'm happy. I feel like I know your gaming taste. Let's see. This I don't know. This is just like a hunch. Do you have an Infamous game in there?
Infamous is number 12.
Oh, see, because
Infamous
I'm pretty sure we've talked about how much we love Infamous.
Certainly, certainly. I'll say, okay, I'll give you some hints. One of these games had a remake on the PlayStation 4.
Mm.
One of these games is one of these games, the game that came before it got a remake on the PS4.
Are we
And
talking
then
Shadow of the Colossus? I
that's
don't
number
know.
2.
Yes, no, I had a
Bingo.
feeling you're also a Shadow of the Colossus person. So I'm
Bingo.
missing two
Yeah.
games.
The last two are 9 and 10. So this is where it gets like strenuous.
Tricky.
One of the last two, the game that came before it got a remake on PS4, and the other one had a reboot recently.
A reboot recently.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a Saints Row game in there? You son
Which
of a
one?
bitch. Oh, Saints Row 4. You have Saints Row 4 in there.
Saints Row 4 is number 10.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice, nice. So I'm missing number 9. You said the game before. So it was a PlayStation Studio like exclusive game. Now it's
It
pretty much
was
everywhere.
it's on Xbox, Switch, everything. PC too.
Xbox, Switch,
But it wasn't a PlayStation
Crash.
Studios game. It was just an exclusive. It was only there for a
Right.
while.
You're not a big Crash person.
Not even. It sucks because like I have this Crash statue here that I got for
Yeah.
Christmas one year because I'm a PlayStation person. Someone was like, "Oh yeah, Crash. 1 + 1 = 2, right?" And I'm like, "Oh no, it doesn't equal 2."
That-
I was a Spyro guy. I'm sorry,
yeah, yeah.
but I'm gonna play those games someday. Play more of them at least.
Man,
I'll
I feel like this one should be an easy one, and I'm missing it.
I'll say it's hard because it's not like I talk about these types of games all the time. I don't even
Mm.
watch anime.
Oh, I like the hint. Okay, it's
Mhm.
anime related. Anime something. It's pretty much everywhere now.
Think about a
Anime,
universally loved anime game.
universally loved anime game. Persona 4 Golden. Are you a Persona 4 Golden guy?
I haven't played a Persona game to completion, so
Oh
I
man,
wouldn't feel comfortable put it on here.
see,
I
because
like
I was
Persona
like,
5 a lot though.
Persona
So
fits the criteria. It used to be a PlayStation exclusive. It's everywhere. Although it
think
didn't
of
get a
one.
remake. Didn't get a remake.
Think of a more actiony one.
More actiony one. God damn. This is an easy one, and I'm blanking. I know it.
Yeah,
Anime games.
critically acclaimed. It's the type of game that people will make like 3-hour video essays over.
Of course, of course. See, it's not Bayonetta, because Bayonetta was a Switch, a Nintendo exclusive.
Bayonetta was everywhere, and then it became Nintendo exclusive. But
Yeah, for Bayonetta
I,
2 and 3.
when I inevitably edit this list, Bayonetta will be in the top 10 somewhere. I'll tell you that.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. You excited for
But
that new weird ass Bayonetta Origins game?
I don't know if I am because the narrative of Bayonetta 3 sucks so much life out of me that I don't know if I'm ready to go back.
That's
But
tough. That's tough.
I will go back at some point. I just don't think I'm gonna buy it for $60 at launch. But I will say, Platinum also developed the game you're trying to guess.
Oh, it's a platinum game. Okay.
The Platinum game.
Oh man, I have all of them. Okay, it's a platinum game.
I feel like I've laid out the carpet now.
Wait, is it? Are you a Near? Oh, Near Automata.
Nier
Of
Automata is
course.
number 9. Yeah.
Nice. It took me way
Oh
too
yeah.
long to get there. Yeah, oh, absolutely. It's one of my favorite games of all time too.
Bingo. Yeah, we're in good company.
Nice.
Yeah, it was Saints Row 4 was number 10, 9 was Nier, Red Dead 2 is 8, 7 is Horizon 1, Walking Dead Season 1 6, Risk of Rain 2 is 5, Miles Morales 4, Last of Us 3, Shadow Colossus 2, Titanfall 2 1. So yeah. Good
Hey,
list, good list.
I needed some help, but I got all 10, so I
Exactly.
retire. You may continue
You
your
got-
story. That was a quick little game show break halfway through.
Yeah. So yeah, the game show was fun. The problem that I had, because here's the thing: whenever I like think of a cute thing to do with my friends, they all have equally small attention spans to me. So it's very hard for me to be like, let's all do this, and then being interested in it for a long amount of time.
Dog,
For like a solid,
that's my whole relationship with Jimena right there. Yep,
exactly. So for
100%.
a solid 2 hours, everyone was engaged with this, and I was so happy with myself. I was like, oh
Nice.
hell yeah, this worked. I thought of a good idea. This is awesome. What I fucked up on is I gave pity to everyone playing, and I was like, all right, I'll give you more time to think of your answer. I should have gave them like like between 2 and 5 minutes. When the first question they hit was that 1,000 point question that it took you a long time even to figure out.
Yeah.
I gave them pity and said, all right, you got 10 minutes.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you got 10 minutes to figure this out. And that was already after they had already been sitting on it for like 5. So 15 minutes on the first question, momentum was lost pretty quickly after that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was all downhill from there. We didn't finish all the questions here, but it's fine. They didn't get to the one where I'm like, name one of the franchises Noah Caldwell Gervais made a franchise retrospective about. Because they'd be like, who?
Who the fuck are you talking about right now?
Exactly. I did have one guy when they were looking up the documentaries. There was because there was one guy who I wasn't friends with, but he was like, seeing one of the people there. So I was like, yeah, come on, bring your significant others. It's fine.
Yeah, no worries.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
he was doing research because he was trying to win. So he was looking up. He was like, is Jacob Geller one of the answers? And I'm like, that's not the answer to this question, but hold on to that.
But if you if you put that in your back pocket, you might get some points later.
Exactly.
I like
So
that.
so yeah. So we did a lot of Jeopardy. Did that for about 2 hours, and everybody was like, I'm bored now. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And so we closed that up. Actually, we didn't even close Jeopardy. We tripped the breaker downstairs.
What? How did this happen? Time out. Time out.
It happened. It
What the
happened
hell?
because you gotta understand, it was just a cavalcade of wires down there. I have 2 outlets right by the TV down
Right.
here in the den.
I'm
Those two
listening,
outlets
by the way.
had, yeah, you're good, you're good. Those 2 outlets had 2 power strips, one plugged into each outlet. Each power strip was damn near full. Here's everything I had plugged up down there. I had 2 monitors plugged up. I had the actual PC plugged up. Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, PS3, because I was hoping to do some shit with that. I had, fuck, what else did I have?
You are the
there's a
most
router.
you
Yeah.
are the most PS3 motherfucker ever. You really, really fucking are.
The specific plan I had, I was gonna do a bit throughout the whole stream where I'm like challenging people to games that I know they have no chance in that I'm good at, just to see what would happen.
Like no joke, no joke. Now I think of the PS3, even though it was my first PlayStation console, and I think of you.
That is truly an honor. I gotta say no bigger thing has been said to me. But yeah, I had the PS3 out because I was gonna challenge folks to like. I bought a PS3 copy of The Club just to challenge people to like races in The Club. I thought it'd be funny. I never
Nice.
got around. But yeah, I had all that plugged up. I had like there was already a router in that corner. The other TV that's over there too, and then like a shit ton of devices. The PSVR I brought over there too. Just every fucking thing under the sun. I had my Steam Deck dock plugged up. We played that for a while. I had the Switch dock plugged up just in case we wanted to go after it. This hard drive that was recording all the footage was plugged up. This Rodecaster was plugged up. So many things. So many things. And so all that power into just those 2 outlets, it was good for
Tough.
like 6 hours. And then at a certain point, it's like, you just shut off.
Yeah.
And the whole stream went off. The whole room went dark. Everyone was like, what's going on? And I'm like, we tripped the breaker. It's fine.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's not the first time because there's one plug in the corner of that room that we weren't using where we would put a heater in that corner sometimes. And even just running that heater and nothing else would trip the breaker.
Damn.
So yeah, this house wasn't built too recently. So some of the stuff is very old school in how it was built. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. But yeah, so we got everything working. It didn't trip again. But once the breaker tripped, I'm like, ooh, there's gummy clusters. I respect that. That's a very
doing
good
crack.
Yeah.
First time I'm doing crack on the show.
Yeah, you're not sleeping during this episode.
Uh-uh.
Unlike someone I know. So yeah, so we once the breaker tripped and I got everything back, I'm like, we're not going back to the game. But some of them were like, oh, I want to see some of the other questions. Like, what was there? And so we went through some of the other questions, blah, blah, blah. I had that. Then we played the quarry, which
Nice.
I bought the Quarry. I think you can see the copy on my couch here.
I do see it.
Uh,
I do see it.
yeah,
Had you
shout out.
played the quarry before?
Haven't. I literally bought it
Mm,
for the stream. Yeah, only bought it for the stream. I still kind of want to play more of it. I think I want to beat it, but it just depends. Time, all that other good stuff.
it's a fun game.
Um, yeah, we only played the opening chapter. I was expecting us to play it a lot more, but by the time we got to it, it was like 11 o'clock. So we played like an hour, and then midnight hit, and I'm like, yay! And they were like, all right, finally, open your presents now that it's your birthday. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll open the present on his birthday. Open a bunch of stuff. Honestly, I haven't even moved those into the room yet because I wanted to clean my room first. But I got like a Funko Pop diorama of Agatha and Scarlet Witch fighting from WandaVision.
Oh, that's
So
cool. That's cool.
very, very cool. I got a very cool Kendrick Lamar shirt that has like. Actually, you mind if I run and like go get some of this shit because it's
Oh,
like right here.
absolutely. I'll
All right,
entertain the
all right.
folks. I'll entertain
Yeah,
the folks at home.
entertain them for like 100 seconds. I'll be back.
Yeah. So, everybody at home, audio listeners, if you didn't see it, I was showing a bag of the new Nerds gummy clusters. Now, they're not that new, right? But I feel like this is, and I've heard Blessing, friend of the show, obviously he's been on the show, talk about this. Actually, was it Blessing or was it Andy? Anyway, somebody, how this is really, truly the perfect evolution of the Nerds and the Nerds rope. And when you look at this candy, for those video viewers, sorry, audio viewers, if when you look at this candy, if the camera can focus for me, then want to focus. Doesn't want to do it. There we go. There we go. It's focusing a little bit. Nope, out of focus. Anyway, when you look at this candy, it really is. It really looks like it comes right from the movie, right? Like from like Willy Wonka. It's incredible. Whoever thought of this, I hope they're a millionaire now. Because the great thing about this candy is you get the nerds, you get the parts of the nerds rub. There's not the hassle of the nerds rub. It's the most addictive candy I've ever eaten in my life. It's incredible. And now Emmett's back. Thank you for listening to me.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that's one of my favorite, probably one of my
Oh my
favorite
God.
fruit candies.
The first time I ever tried it, I was driving. I was doing a road trip. I don't even remember where I was driving to, but I was driving for a while. Stopped at a gas station. I'm like, I need something sweet because I need like a kick, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been a nerds guy my whole life, and then I saw these things. I'm like, what is this? And that day started a bad addiction for me, but worth it.
I relate to that. I relate to that. So here's some of the stuff I got. I don't have every single thing here, but here are just some of the highlights. So they got me this little completely glass enclosure thing. If you watch the stream, you'll know I dropped this on screen.
No,
I did literally. So I opened it and they said, "Hey, be careful with it because this whole top thing is just like suction cupped into it. So if this bottom part's too heavy, it'll just fall off." So they told me that, and I said, "All right, I'll be careful. I'll pick it up from the bottom." But then, like, we had been drinking.
Of
I've already
course.
I had a shot and a little bit of tequila with some 7-Up. Like, I was feeling all right. My brain was
Understandable.
starting to forget things that happened earlier. So they told me that 20 minutes later, someone's like, "Oh, what's that in your lap?" I just pick it up like this. Not even.
Here. Oh, fuck.
I'm like, "Yeah, it's this." And then the bottom fell out. And the only reason it didn't shatter when it hit the ground is because Richard was right next to me. Another one of my friends there, just like his hand was able to stop the motion of it fast enough
Shout
to
to
like
Richard.
for it to just slow down and just hit the ground softly. So yeah, it was bad. And I swear, Abby is like annoyed with me when I do stupid shit, and she was like, "Oh, you fucking idiot!" And I'm like, "Yeah, you have to be nice to me because it's my birthday." Anyway, so that was cool. This was filled with candy and stuff. There's still some candy in there, but the rest of it's on the ground.
Nice.
They got me Old Smoky Moonshine, which I had never heard of, but it's banana pudding flavor, and
Fuck
I
yeah.
love banana flavored things.
Fuck yeah.
Something I'm slowly realizing about myself. They got me a hot cocoa ball, which is one of those like chocolate balls where it's like
Oh,
powdered
yeah.
marshmallows. Yeah, so I'm gonna use that probably sometime soon, probably during Christmas time. I'll save it. I got a lot of good stuff. Gabby kind of went. I don't know if she went crazy or she just like is attentive because the first time Gabby had ever, because Gabby is a recent friend of mine. The
Okay.
first time I ever met her is when she came to my house with Avi and Richard, and at some point she was like, "Oh, do you have Beautiful Joe?" And I'm like, I can't believe you know what the fuck Beautiful Joe is.
You're like, time out.
Yeah, because like that's a fucking nerd thing to know about. So I lost my mind a little bit about that, and I was like, oh, that's very cool. And so here she comes with a fucking Beautiful Joe figurine.
That's awesome.
Didn't even expect this. So I was very shocked and surprised and pleased with that. Because as folks who don't know, Beautiful Joe is a game made by Clover Studios. Clover Studios, a lot of that staff went on to work at Platinum Games, so that's legacy right there.
Mm-hmm. That is
Big
legacy.
Platinum fan. And she also, because she's like a graphic designer and like does stuff with websites and stuff, she made this, which is
That's
reversed for
sick.
everybody. Yeah, it's reversed for everybody watching, but it's me as Ash Ketchum with Happy
Nice.
Birthday Emmett and Pokemon font. So like very cool with a little personalized message on the back. So yeah. Also she brought back Japanese Kit Kats from when she went to Japan briefly earlier this year. Which
Nice.
she told me that and I'm like, "You went to Japan? How did I miss this?" And I
When did
remember
this happen?
yeah. Well, I would have known if my Facebook account wasn't deactivated because I followed her on Instagram and would have seen the story. So, whoop de doo. But yeah, and then I got some cards, also like a Pikachu 3D model build thing. If it
Nice.
goes into focus,
Cool.
I don't know. Well, yeah, it's fine. So yeah, that's some of the high. Oh, and here's the Funko Pop diorama thing I was talking about here.
Oh, that thing's
Also,
cool. That thing's cool.
yeah. Yeah, I gotta find a place to put it because when I was cleaning my room, I realized, fuck, I have a lot of shit. I need to
I got a
sell,
lot of stuff.
throw away. Yeah, I have a pile of things literally where it's like these games I'm gonna have to sell or return to Amazon or whatever. So I got a lot of that to do. But that was fun gifts. And then right after we opened up all the gifts, I was at like when you're drinking, you're just like, I'm just gonna like talk about my feelings.
Yes, I've been there. I've
Yeah,
been there.
it got to that point and I was like, we're gonna wrap up the stream pretty soon. But then someone started just asking random questions for conversation. Someone was like, what's the embarrassing story what's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you or you ever done or whatever? And I said like some random things. I was like, all right, that's pretty embarrassing. And one of my friends fucking I'll go ahead and tell the story here, though I was like not
Yes.
prepared to share this with the world.
Hit us with it.
I So my friend Claudia, who was also there, she was like, I think the most embarrassing thing you ever done that I've been present for is when you told me you called your mom after losing your virginity.
Damn. Damn, she put you on blast.
She put me way on blast, and I was like, that is embarrassing. Maybe so embarrassing I didn't want the internet to know. Now the internet knows.
Now it's out there.
And then I had to give all my caveats like, oh, but it wasn't just because of that. Like I missed a family trip to go to it, and so I felt guilt. It was a whole thing. So yeah, that was very funny when it happened. But right after that, I was like, that was kind of wild that even happened.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and so yeah, so
Nice.
once things started getting like weirdly personal, we were like, all right, it's time to shut the stream down. So we shut the stream
It's
down.
like,
about
okay, guys, I think that's enough personal stories for the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Things started to get like the air was changing because we were all like, it's deep talk time, and deep talk time is not Twitch time.
No.
Um,
No.
Exactamundo. So we ended the stream. We hung around, talked for like another hour or so. People started falling asleep, so we were like, all right, it's time to like go. So I made sure people took a lot of food because my parents did cook. They made spaghetti bake, garlic bread, and salad, and they also bought some chicken wings.
Yeah.
Everyone liked everything. Everyone was super happy with all the food. I was very pleased. My mom can throw down in the kitchen. God bless her.
Fuck yeah.
I hope I inherit that skill one day. Um, so I made sure they took a plate. And yeah, after that, everyone was gone. I don't know where I fell asleep. I think I just went to my own room, just fell asleep, and then the next morning I did the cleaning and all that other stuff I talked about. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a good time. The goal was $400 for Extra Life. We raised 80,
Okay. Hey, man.
which is fine. I mean, any money is good money if it's
We're
going to a
happy
good.
with it either way.
Exactly, but it was a thing where I didn't hyper plan everything, and because of that, the stream was kind of a shit show. It was kind of unpolished. It was kind of just all over the place. Like I
Yeah.
had all these mics, forgot to get mic stands, so people didn't want to hold a mic the entire time.
Hmm.
And just people sitting anywhere in the room, and so they were off camera half the time when they were talking, and I didn't know if they could be heard or not. So I'm like, I don't know how good content this is, but we're all having fun, so that's really what matters.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, it was a good time. Would do it again. Might do it again, but perhaps I'll make it a little bit more. I'll plan it out maybe slightly more, so I won't have it to where I'm asleep for 2 hours. That's
Honestly,
all.
that's the best part of it. That's the best part of it.
But yeah, I had a blast, so I have no regrets.
I'm glad.
So yeah, I'm
I'm
happy
happy to
for
hear
you.
that. I'm happy to hear that. Last extra life stream I did was Irrational Passions Extra Life 20, maybe 2019 too. Holy shit.
Oh wow, fun,
2018
fun.
actually. It was a while ago. It was a hot minute ago. That was a
Mhm.
24-hour live stream where Alex and the crew, everybody rented a big ass Airbnb, and it was a marathon, man, but it was a lot of fun. Shout out to them. Uh, you reminded me of the last time that I did a personal like 12-hour stream where I do remember I had like all these games planned out. I had a like section where I was gonna play like a bunch of games for 2 hours, right?
Mhm.
2 hour chunks at a time. It was like six different games, and that's when Animal Crossing had like just come out. It was
Ah.
like a week old, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna start with Animal Crossing. I have these few things that I need to do on my island, and then we're gonna play some else, and we'll go from there. And I started playing Animal Crossing, and I blinked, and I had played 6 hours of Animal Crossing.
I knew it.
I was like,
Oh god.
oh shit, we're halfway done through the stream now. All right, well, let's play some Apex. And then I blinked, and the stream was over. I played 6 hours straight of Apex and 6 straight hours of Animal Crossing, and that was my stream.
Oh god, gotta love it, gotta love it. Hey, well, it's easy to keep track of your stream and actually change the time codes. And oh, we're playing this game now, so it shows up right in Twitch. Because I'm telling you right now, Moncage, I said we played for 2.5 hours. We played Moncage for 6 hours according to Twitch because I never changed the game.
Like, holy shit, these guys really like this game.
They're like, damn, because Moncage is only a 2 hour game.
Yeah, these guys beat it 3 times on stream.
Exactly.
We've
Good
reached the
God.
portion of my sickness where my M's aren't coming out properly.
Oh man. Well, let's talk about Eminem for 3 hours now.
Let's
Let's
Eminem eating M&Ms. Uh, one question I did want to ask you: Did you have you played more God of War Ragnarok? I know we sort of talked about that last time around. Have you played more of it? Since last episode, I platinumed the game. I'm done with the game.
Oh wow.
I got the platinum. I adored every minute of it. It's one of the best games I've ever played in my life. So I'm curious to see what you think.
Gee Willikers. I've played more of it. Not too much more.
Okay.
Last time we talked, I think I was an hour in. Now I'm about 3 or 4 hours in. Um, the criticism I have so far is that it just feels like more God of War. And I didn't like the original God of War enough to just want more of that.
Okay.
I'm looking for something transcendent. But I heard something the other day. I was watching Jacob Geller, going back to Jacob Geller. He put out his top 10 games of the year video, and he had similar. He's in a similar place with the original God of War reboot as I am, where he didn't love it as much as everybody else. He really likes those original games, and just thought it wasn't as special as everyone said it was. He says Ragnarok blew him the fuck away and surprised him. So I'm looking to play that game until I see what he is seeing in
Yeah.
that game. He says you don't know what the game is really about until like 30 hours in, which, as
Okay.
someone who platinumed it, do you know what that could mean at all?
I understand what he's referencing mostly. I don't. If I were you, I wouldn't come into it expecting like a gigantic shift 30 hours in. Like there is some stuff that goes down that changes your perspective on the whole game, right? But
Oh,
it's not like a Last of Us Abby situation, right? Like we're not
okay.
talking that level. There is some stuff similar to that in this game, like some stuff that does come out of left field that like
Hmm.
I'm going to assume you haven't done have you gotten to the first part that like
I'm
first major twist in like gameplay yet or not yet?
I don't think I've gotten to a twist in gameplay. I am at the
Okay.
part where I'm fighting all those little like lizard things in one of the opening areas. I'm like stopping geysers with my ice axe right
Okay. Yeah,
now.
yeah, yours in Svartalfheim. Svartalfheim.
Yeah, Svartalheim, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Svartalheim. You know what
So
I
you're
mean.
you're coming close to this part that I'm telling you about. You remember like when the very first God of War, when they were previous out, like 2018 God of War, I'm talking about. They
Hmm.
were previous out, and the previous cut out right before the game revealed that it was like an open world game, right? It,
Yes.
it like held back on that secret. And if you saw previews of Ragnarok, a lot of like even Greg, kind of funny, he said that he had a feeling that right when it cut out, some other surprise was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So there is a surprise where right where the cutout of what the preview was, and you're basically the next section of the game for you is going to be that surprise. And I think,
Mm.
again, I'm not saying expect like a total fucking shift of the game, like, but what's gonna happen is gonna be it's gonna delight you.
Okay. I'm ready to be delighted because right now I'm merely satiated, which is good. I played a lot of Saints Row before I stopped. So like I'm totally fine with like, oh, this game's fine. But if it's God of War, if it's this game I'm expecting to put 50 plus hours into and it's winning game of the year awards,
Yeah.
like I want to be blown away. It seems like I will be blown away. I just got to give it that chance. So, yeah, I'm gonna get around to it. I, I had it in my head before I had this break where I'm off of work for a couple days. I had it in my head that I'm gonna catch up on games. I'm gonna do so much stuff,
Yeah.
but I really need to do maintenance. So that
No,
yesterday was supposed to
understandable.
be, I'm gonna play some games. Yesterday was I'm cleaning my
Yeah.
room. So
I
yeah, thank
After the
God for
Game
it.
Awards, which happened not that long ago, my Elden Ring juices finally came back to me. If you've watched the show, right, you know that this year was the first time that I played any From Software games, right? And I did it with the goal of leading up to Elden Ring so I could beat Elden Ring before the end of the year. Um, and I beat first Bloodborne, then I did Demon Souls, then I did Dark Souls 1, and then I did Sekiro, right? I
Mhm.
didn't have enough time to do Dark Souls 2 and 3, so I was like, fuck it, I'll play those later. And I hopped into Elden Ring, played about 55 hours of Elden Ring, and got to the point where I've played like 200 plus hours worth of From Software games this year. So I was done, right? I needed a break because I was a little oversaturated. I realized that I wasn't loving my time with Elden Ring as much as I was at first, and as much as I was loving every other From Software game. And like it got to the point where I was like not understanding what people were talking about Elden Ring. Like I really burned
Mhm.
myself out on it, right? And I was trying to rush my way into it and beat it before God of War, but I decided to just take a break. I obviously played God of War. I've played a lot of other smaller games since, and the
Oh, yeah.
Game Awards was the thing where, for the first time ever, it's not From Software.
Software. Yeah.
I'm from Boston apparently. From Software announced the
Okay.
game, and I was hyped with everybody else. Like for the first time
Oh
ever,
yeah.
I'm part of this hype where I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm down for Armored Core. Let's see, let's dissect the trailer. Like I'm in day one, and it's the first time that I get to experience that. And then, obviously Elden Ring winning game of the year and director of the year, and God of War
Go
took
Clint.
a hell awards home too. But that excitement of From Software and hearing the music and whatnot really had me thinking like, man, it's been a minute since I last played Elden Ring, and I'm ready to hop back in. So I'm gonna. I've been sick, so I haven't really had the energy to play Elden Ring. It's been mostly um, playing on my Steam Deck, a lot of Vampire Survivors, but
Hell yeah. Game of the year.
oh my god, it's so fucking good. That game's addicting, dude. Hey, you found the
Yes.
glasses. Nice.
Yep. They were just on the table that I had cleared out already.
Sweet. That's usually how it goes.
Yep. Gotta love myself and my brain not working. Um, but yeah, I'm right there with you, man. Vampire Survivors rules. But yeah, when you get back to Elden Ring, it's gonna be good
Yeah,
because I've played Elden Ring a little bit more
it's great.
in the time
It's a
I've been
fucking good
avoiding
game.
God of War. Yeah, it's
It's a
really
fucking
good.
really
It,
good game.
yeah.
See. By the way, I did want to tell you. So for me, God of War Ragnarok, it's platinum, 100%ed, every extra thing. My clock, I think, was like 48 hours. So
Oh, okay.
wasn't too bad.
Wow. Yeah, because I think I hit 50 platinuming it last with God of War 2018. But the length of platinum isn't really a problem because here's the thing. Here's what I'm gonna do. Because here's what I fucked up on the last God of War. Because this is why I walked away and I was like, I didn't love that. I should have stopped playing it once I beat the story. I should have
Mm,
been like, I've had my
yeah,
fill. I
yeah.
don't need any more. But instead, I kept playing it for another like 2 or 3 weeks just to get the platinum. And it was fun for the most part, but by the end of it, I was ready to be off of it.
I
I
think
didn't want.
the way that this game is paced, I told you this last time because every now and then after a main mission, like the game will kind of tell you like, oh, right now will be a good time to, clear out some side stuff. If you play even similar to the way that I do, where like you're kind of doing everything around you while you can, the game is paced in a way where it really allows you to do that, and, and B, there's obviously more things to do, and the main story is a lot longer than the main story was in 2018. So by the time
Mm.
that you're done with the main story, you shouldn't have like, all right, 25 hours worth of stuff, right? Like I think for me, after I beat the main campaign, I played maybe like an extra like 10 hours of content, right? Like it wasn't anything crazy, like maybe an extra 10 of clearing out some stuff. And I left a specific area kind of totally untouched for me to explore it in after the platinum, after the main story, I mean. So I'm excited to see what you think, because I think it's a very fucking special game. And
Yeah.
knowing that you're an old school God of War fan, like I really
There's stuff for me?
like there's little things for you, yes, but
Okay,
the
okay.
way that the game just is structured, like the scope of the game feels so much closer to those games, right? It feels like,
Oh, thank God. That's all I
yeah,
wanted.
no, totally. Like there's things that you do.
Mm.
There's one specific like moment or like, section that as you're doing it, you're gonna be like, man, this like this exact same thing could have been in God of War 3, and it would feel
Mhm.
totally in place.
Huh. All right. All
So
right.
I think once you keep playing the story and you see the crazy places it goes, you'll feel those God of War juices. The one thing, man, that they haven't done on these games, and it pains me, because these games, the score is fucking incredible. Bear McCreary is like, in this game he fucking popped off like even more than in the first one. The score is unbelievable. It's beautiful. It's epic. The one
That's
thing that I always thought in God of War 2018, that, and they never did it, and I had a little bit of hope that they were going to do it for Ragnarok, but I'm telling you now they don't, is that they still haven't used the like OG God of War song. Like,
like the ba-dum, that one.
yes, that
Yeah.
fucking song is so good, and I just want to hear it for 10 seconds in one of these new games, cuz I'll pop off, man. That would be so exciting, and they don't use it.
Hmm. I think that it's so epic and garish in a way where the new games are trying to be very subtle and creeping.
I know, but
So I
da,
understand why they
da,
wouldn't use
da,
it.
da, da. Oh my god, please hit me with that.
God, I can't. Every time I hear that song, I just think of Kratos like falling through the sky, just fuck someone up at the
It's
bottom.
so
Like I
fucking
just
good. Oh, it's such
uh
a fucking good
it,
theme.
it makes me tingle. But yeah, I keep saying this, and I've been saying it for like a month at this point. But I will play this game. I will play it to completion, likely before the end of the year. Though I know we're getting close. But I will say today, with the little bit of time I do have before I finish off this room, I will be playing some games. I have to prioritize Xbox today because
Mm.
you do Microsoft Awards at all? Are
I
you aware of
dabbled in
that?
it a little bit, but I'm not like you. I'm not like you.
Okay. Well, I'm not like me anymore because I used to be every single like I had to get the dailies where I got to answer all the trivia questions on
Right,
Bing.
right, right, right.
I used to be all about that. Now I don't do the daily stuff, but I do keep up with the monthly stuff. And they have the monthly challenge up right now where well, they have the weekly challenge and they also have the monthly one. Right now, I need to get 3 achievements in an Xbox game in order to check off my monthly and my weekly. I haven't missed a weekly in like a year and 4 months. Like I have an
Nice,
88-week streak.
nice,
And so I'm
very
trying to
nice.
keep that. And I want the points, yes, but I want to keep that because I've just been keeping it up for so long. And then there's like some other little challenges here for getting achievements. So I think I'm gonna start Immortality. I think that's what I'm gonna do today.
Ooh, cool.
Um,
I
because
like that.
I've been itching to do that. It's on Game Pass. It's applying for all these little challenges. So I think the time is now. I'm gonna start that. Will I beat it today? Maybe not, but
Sweet.
it's time I gave that a chance because I felt upset a little bit when Mike Judge when Christopher Judge won for best performance because in my head I've already given it to Man Engage even though I
Mm.
haven't played the game yet.
You're like, it's a.
Immortality. Yeah, I just
I
feel
will
like because
say, I will
yeah.
say that the like Christopher Judge's performance. I thought he was great in 2018, right? Like really good. Like oh, added depth to Kratos. In this game, it's on a different fucking level. Like his
Mm,
performance moved me to tears more than one time in this game. Like
ooh,
straight up, just his performance and how good the technology is at capturing his facial expressions. It's incredible. Like no joke. I can remember at least three times where just his performance made me tear up.
damn. All right. So maybe I shouldn't give shade to him. Maybe he deserves a 7-minute speech.
Dog,
But
it's so funny. Oh my god.
yeah, that was hilarious. Hey, get those Steam Decks, y'all.
Hey yeah,
Um,
hell yeah.
but yeah, but yeah, it's I only felt that because I was like, oh man, she was in 3 movies at once and had to be in the layer underneath the movie, the behind the scenes stuff for all of it.
Yeah,
So like that's just a lot of act. That's a lot of characters you got to
a
portray.
lot of acting that she's acting her ass off for real. I really want to play the game.
Yeah, so I'm gonna probably start that today just to get my feet wet in there.
Sweet.
And yeah, I'll get around to God of War. And I still gotta beat fucking Stranger of Paradise so that Elijah Miller doesn't cyberbully me because I said anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking of before we wrap up the episode, speaking of like goals for the end of the year and the new year, for me, I also have a few things that the Game Awards helped me like. These are the things I'm going to focus on game wise, right? One, if you remember this year, my biggest goal was to like clear out my backlog as much as I could and play as many
Yeah.
games as I could. I've
Doing great
beaten
at that, by the way.
45 games this year, and that is
Oh
by
yeah.
far the most games that I've ever beaten in one year. Feel very proud of that. So my next few goals are finally wrap up Elden Ring, which is like 60 more hours of gameplay, but dive deep on Elden Ring. I'm feeling excited for that. So I'm
Hell
doing
yeah.
that. And then I bought Hades because it was on sale. I have it on my Steam Deck. Now that
Hell yeah.
Hades 2 is coming, I'm gonna dive deep into Hades. Hima and I are going on a trip in a few weeks, and that's gonna be perfect time for me to just go crazy on Hades since I'm not gonna have my PlayStation or my PC.
Oh yeah.
So
Go suit.
Hades is one, and then next year, the first two games that I want to play and beat are Death Stranding. Ready for that for Death Stranding 2 because that's a game that I played 5 hours of and I never touched again, and I'm feeling the vibes of like a chill, like walk around and deliver shit game right now.
Hmm.
Just play Lake, so there
Uh,
you go.
it's just like Lake.
Just like Lake, same thing, same thing.
Grow
Just
relationships and explode.
a few more babies, but and then Near Replicant, which I've had on my PS4, PS5 for forever. And Near Automata, I beat last year. Well, I mean this year, and it's one of my favorite games ever made. And I really want to hop onto Net Replicant. So those are my goals. Those are my next gaming steps.
In the same way you're excited to see what I think of God of War Ragnarok, I can't wait to see what you think of Replicant because
Yeah, I'm
I
excited,
have
dude.
so many thoughts.
I'm
Yeah.
very excited. I might play Replicant before Death Stranding. We'll see how it goes. But
Mm.
those are my first two because the rest of the year and like the first couple months of 2023 there's not huge games that I'm like, oh yes, I want this. Like I think the first game in 2023 that I'm like super ready for is Star Wars Survivor in
Yeah.
March, and then in April you have the Horizon DLC and stuff. So there's some great games in January and February, but I can slip in some backlog games those first couple months. So that's the game plan.
Okay, I respect that. Yeah, similar to what you said. I have a couple games here that I'm planning on touching. Here's the thing: I made a whole list, like maybe almost a month ago, where I'm like, all right, these are the games that I want to make sure I touch before game of the year time, before end of the year, all that stuff. I have beaten one of those games,
Nice.
and that was Bayonetta 3. So that's wrapped
Nice.
up. I've started a lot of these. Like I started God of War Ragnarok. I started Roller Drome. I started Ghost Song. I'm deep into Nightmare Reaper. But like haven't touched Stray. Haven't. I barely touched Scorn. But like I'm part of the way through Cultic, part of the way through Hell Pie. A lot of random indies. A lot of like stuff like Sifu. I haven't touched at all.
Sifu's so
Stuff like
good.
the yeah, I know Sifu's great.
Oh
I
my
bought it,
god, what a fucking
haven't
game!
put it in the fucking system, so I need to really get on that.
What a game!
Um, the Winter's expansion for RE Village, I want to play through that little DLC chapter. And yeah, Callisto Protocol, I think I'm gonna skip, not because it's
Skip
bad,
for
but
me as well.
because I can skip. I can afford to skip it. It seems.
Yeah.
So,
Same. There's better things for me to spend $70 on right now, so I'm
mhm.
just I'm just taking a skip on it. No, no beef.
Yeah. Right now I'm in between a bunch of games that I have started that I'm like, am I gonna like this enough to play it to the end? Like I bought Astergos Curse of the Stars, which if Immortals Phoenix Rising was Breath of the Wild for kids, then Astergos is Dark Souls for kids. It
Nice.
has it has that Immortals vibe, but it's Dark Souls instead of Zelda.
Sweet.
So I really I was digging it when I played the demo, and now I've played past the demo, and I'm like, this is like fine.
It's all
I
right.
don't know if I don't know if I should have bought it at launch, but like Evil West, I want to get to more Nightmare Reaper, High on Life coming out tomorrow. Got to jump
Yes.
on that. And because I feel obligated, I want to play the campaign of Modern Warfare 2, but that might end up like Vanguard, and I don't play it until the next year. So we'll see. Tinykin as well. I want to shout that out. And
Tinykin is
yeah,
so much fun. That was my COVID game. That was my COVID game. It was a really good time.
hell yeah. So yeah, Tinykin I got to get to. And Sniper Elite 5, I played 4 in preparation, then never got around to 5. So I feel like I should really check that off soon as well. So that's more or less everything. I've already
Well,
talked about the Elden Rings and the Stranger Paradises. So yeah, that's it.
folks, our next episode is not only going to be the last episode of 2022, it is also going to be our Game of the Year episode, which will be a little different than the usual Game of the Year
Let me
stuff.
ask, is that going to be our just game of the year or is it stuff of the year? Or are we doing that 2 different episodes?
It can be both. It can be both at the same time. That's one of the
Okay.
things I'm alluding to. It's a little different.
There you
It's a little
go. There you
different.
go. Yeah,
And
because we did have this conversation. Yes.
yeah, and it's a little different than what you might think. And as someone who didn't consume a lot of stuff that is not video games this year, right? Someone who hyper focused on video games,
And I did the opposite.
which is why we have an interesting dynamic for next episode. I'm excited. Now, for those eagle-eyed viewers and or listeners, you may recall that a long time ago on Twitter, I said that for Spoonful's Game of the Year episode, I was going to rank every single game I have beaten in 2022.
That might be its own episode.
So that's going to be, we'll see if I'm going to do that. What I will say right now is that if I do end up doing that as my section of the episode, I will not be breaking down each pick. I'm only going to break down like the top 10 because otherwise it's going to be a 5-hour podcast. We're not looking forward to that.
Indeed.
But I'm excited for everyone to check that out. I'm excited to record that episode with you. That is it for this episode of the Spoonful Podcast, everyone. Thank you so much for watching and or listening. Remember, follow us on Twitter at Spoonful Vids. Subscribe to the channel at YouTube, on YouTube at Spoonful Vids. The fact that YouTube has handles now is like a little confusing, but you got it. Follow us on Twitter at Mario Bros and at EJ Sponge 61. Everyone, it's been a pleasure seeing you. We'll see you next time. Take care.